Welcome back, everyone, for some more CCL action. We're going to be watching RIT Orange take on Rutgers Esports Black. Rutgers been kind of on a big losers run so far. They had to play UCLA in their first round, which is a really rough first round to have to do. So they went on to team kill the other Rutgers team. Just finished off OSU and are now here versus RIT Orange. I'm joined by Orion. What's up, Orion?
How's it going, ladies and gentle strikers? We're looking for a very interesting match here. We have two very similarly seeded teams. Both have shown that they've been able to hold their own so far. And we're going to see who can continue their losers run. Hopefully try and make it to day 2.
Yeah, they do really want to win this. Obviously, you want to stay in the tournament by winning. But not only do you have to win this round, but you have to win the next round if you want to make it to day 2. And both teams are going to have hard matches up ahead, or really everyone is going to have a hard match up ahead, even if they win this one. So you kind of want to be looking good in this match.
Yeah, it's make or break time. Both of these teams, they fought very hard to be where they are right now. And now it's just all about making sure you can keep that momentum and try and make it all the way to day 2.
Yeah, so this is where the momentum will start. We've got we got some maps to look at real quick. The
very interesting Tycho start.
Tycho start. I've become more of an enjoyer of the temple as it's existed longer. I don't know if it has a place in competitive map pools, but it's got some goofy stuff. But at this point, everyone's had enough time to figure out how the center drum works, how the bounces are usually going to work. Sometimes it bounces it right back at you at off the sides and stuff, but most of the time everything works as intended. So as long as you have a good feel for it, there's some pretty crazy plays you can make off that center drum.
It's a map that also just super heavily favors your lockdown goalies, which both of these teams have. We have Beepo, notably super solid on the Mako. We have named player, super good lockdown, Dubu, Atlas, just able to hold forever and ever.
Yeah, that's kind of a staple, I feel like, of collegiate in general. Is you don't really have many teams, if really any, that can pilot damage very well, or even pilot eject goalies that well. So you tend to see a lot of these hold it down goalies, which is pretty important because a lot of the lower level eject goalie players kind of have a lot more trouble and will end up just being held down when playing against these melee goalies. So
yeah, and the maps that we have, and the maps that we have here, they're super punishing if you make even the slightest mistake with your ejects. On Tycho, the second you mess up, the drum's gonna come and get you right in the back. But the other maps like Oni, also super punishing. If you're out of position, you're just gonna lose your barriers, maybe even 2 at the same time. Oni is of course our second game, moving in here, selected by RIT. And well, we're getting right into Tycho then.
Yeah, excited for this. Want to see the type of comps these teams pick. I do think there's a lot of ways you can go wrong drafting on Tycho. I do think composition can end up mattering a lot more on this map than certain other ones. I remember when the map first came out, I was a little lost on what I wanted to pick. I kind of found that, at least in my opinion, Juno and Estelle midfield are kind of the 2 staples and what you really want to see. We have a Spark Star and Among Titans.
So that's a fascinating one.
Yeah, I do think you just should go Among Titans. I don't really think the Spark scaling, because I do think on this map, Resilience is the weakest one to start scaling with.
Yeah, a lot of your KOs are going to be knockback.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, there's the bans to go through. We see the Asher ban. It's kind of an interesting pick on this map because as Asher goalie has grown in popularity, Asher forward kind of fell off because it was pretty scary if you were to lock in Asher forward, if you'd have to play against Asher goalie and just get hard countered. But this is the stuff I'm worried about. Is I don't like Rasmus forward on this map. I think it has a lot of trouble. It doesn't have the same stuffing that you really want, but it can definitely succeed. It's good into Dubu as well because you can hit that hit stun with your primary and hook. So we'll see how it works, but right now I'm a bigger fan of the Drakkar forward even, because that's been gaining popularity as well.
I'm inclined to agree. The ability to just win a strike war just for free with your shotgun just really helps win the neutral. You can also find these kind of cheese kills, like as we mentioned, like a lot of your kills are going to be coming from knockback rather than damage. So just being able to stand near that edge and kind of vulture around and find a pick, something that's super solid to look for.
Yeah, Drakkar especially, like we see the pummelers even from Fame time. It's just gained, this pick, the forward, has been getting more and more popularity. Sometimes you pair it with Juno, sometimes you pair it with Estelle. And people have been liking it more and more. I know some NASL teams have even been scrimming a lot with it. We saw Bun Bun Bonanza played in NASL. So it definitely has a place in the meta right now. And especially on this last patch, it's interesting to see like what could have been with this pick. As we see that the immediate KO with the ult plus primary combo. It's just, there's a lot of strength there. And now Beepa's going to try and clear out the flip, but a named player is going to end up losing the barrier despite having the power play. The speed from the Erasmus is actually helping out a lot. A great hook, but Mr. Red Panda is going to be able to hold it down for now. Same time, trying to find a way through, but isn't going to find much. Named player might be forced to flip soon if it goes in too far.
And the
but
drum
the
angle.
not going to go off. Yeah, wow.
Interesting thing to note here is that Beepa was the only one on the side of RIT who took Among Titans. So we're seeing 2 sparks coming out from RIT, and we're noticing that Beepa is a lot smaller here. Ideally, this means that we're funneling the Rasmus to help win their strike wars there, but time will tell if the draft supports that. Almost finding a pick there, FaceTime on Primbus. Looking for those pums cheese kills. Yeah, Stagger won't save you there.
That was an insane go for it. Dude. Same time, I think like ulted upwards into the drum so that Grimace would bounce off and then tried to combo that into a KO. I've seen people do that on like X, or I've seen, so that's like a character that can do that, and I can imagine a lot of other characters can do it too if they learn how. But like what you're saying, when you pointed out, Beepo having Among Titans, this just makes no sense. I think this should just be terrible. I think this should be like a game-losing decision, honestly. It could have, but they won the first point, so I'm just chatting, but like Mako is a character that's really good with speed. On this map, size is important, because if you're too small, then when the core moves really fast from like these Taiko drum bounces, then it's going to be really, really hard to keep up, because you won't be able to cover that space in time.
And given that the drum buff is a melee ability, you're like reducing your push box too on that. And like that can just, like all of Mako's abilities are melee except for the cage. So you're losing your effective range as well in exchange for just a little bit of speed. And like again, this is usually trying to funnel your forwards, but at that point you might as well have 2 take Among Us and then just like super funnel Maul out here.
Yeah, honestly, if you're Mako, you're pretty happy they didn't pick a traditional brawler, but Sir Red Panda the third gets the KO, walks in and finishes it off. Kind of a name. Kind of like an older name. Used to see Sir Red Panda like a lot, I feel like, in the queues, but now it's more of just a collegiate player. But it's definitely a collegiate demon, and one of those probably like players that goes under the radar since he doesn't really play in that like tournaments anymore. But he's always been a really solid player, and it's cool to see him still in CCL.
Yeah. Pressure mounting here. Oh, and the flip gets burned. Looking to hopefully find a barrier there, unable to find the core in it. Back to neutral.
Yeah, crazy save there.
Yeah.
Named player dribbles it back, the back pass into Sir Red Panda. Just like a good combo there. Flip used for first barrier. I'm not a big fan of doing that unless you have an immediate plan to make it too, but sometimes you just kind of get impatient, and now you just have no energy and start getting KO'd and you lost your other barrier and it feels pretty bad. But if they can stop this flip from causing a big offense, nothing was really able to come of it. Great combo there from the both forwards, able to get that last barrier. Now Sir Red Panda.
Projectiles.
Yeah, even do it from cross map, they're able to work together. That's the power of this Drakkar forward, but it's going to be the Taiko bounces that beat named player as they time up Male Maneth, if I'm saying that right. And yeah, drive that one right in.
Yeah, flip economy is looking very solid here for RIT here. Up 2 points. Able to keep their goalie with the flip just in case. Looking to use that advantage and close out the first set. Cage comes out.
Yeah, Cage. Fame time. Just
Fame time and timeout.
Yeah, it doesn't really... Like, you can use the evade the walkout, but it's usually just not even worth to use the evade.
Yeah, when you're that close to flip,
damage.
especially.
Yeah, but now he's going to get maybe punished for trying to hold this flip for too long. Just gets KO'd without evading once, but in return, Sir is able to get 2 of those barriers, and now a named player has flip and is looking to play aggressive, get something done, but might just have to use flip. Oh,
flip burned
too early. Yeah, flip off now. Now a named player moving up though, which is really good. It's a good thing. You want your Duba to be doing that to try to keep that forward pressure up. But so far, even though they have this like double midfieldy comp, the Drakkar and the Stellar are just having trouble keeping the core up. The core is moving too fast, and the coverage just isn't there yet. They don't have any range increasing abilities. But yeah, maybe you don't need the size if you have the strike shot from Beepo. But now Sir Red Pandal trying to get through. It's going to get flipped soon, which could be a really good omen for the team. But named player going to lose that barrier to the primary, but great bounce off the wall. And I was about to say, that's the size.
All right, 2-2 for this set one, moving in the kickoff here. Flip economy looking greatly in the favor of Rutgers here.
Yeah.
Sir Red Panda getting his first one up right now. Beepo losing a barrier.
Yeah, okay,
in the corner.
Oh, perfect timing. Fame time gets the stun on Crimbus and Beepo, so that Sir Red Panda's flip just flies right through. Now it's 2 barriers to none, and it's really going to be hard to defend, even with flip. They really need a really strong offense play right here, but and then players able to clear that one out. And now strike shotgun scary, but the score speed is scarier. Gets that last barrier, but now Fame Time almost has flip. A named player has ult, now has flip as well. So really scary to kind of be in from the front here, but okay, flip once again burned. I feel like it's been happening a lot for named player. But good patience from Fame Time, but yeah, Beepo's able to clear it out. Now it's going to be up to Panda to try to get this one out, but
and the hook finds it.
With a great hook, is able to bring that one in. Just sees the passing range before it happens. No one's covering it, and kind of gets hit with like kind of a little bit of a day one thing. Now there's quick strikes is really interesting on this map. So I still think it's really good, but they're going to take Spark because they opted into going Spark. This will help them keep up the everything, but
opting for quick, Spark denied.
Yeah, they don't want... I mean, it's weird because like Rasmus getting 2 Sparks isn't as big as a deal in my opinion, because he's just going to get size anyway. Now Beepo's back to normal size almost with that recovery drone as well. So it's just like a really weird draft because it feels really, really good if you're on the side... If you wanted that size and you wanted quick strikes and you got everything at the cost of 1 spark that isn't benefiting the opponents at all. So I understand why you don't want to give them 2 sparks, but what a blitz of a round.
Yeah. Now that was a super interesting draft. We saw a hotshot fall to Dubu, Estelle opting to take the spark, and we also just saw Chrono Boost get passed up by a team that uses 2 important buffs. But you do find those quick strikes, which is going to make your midfield feel a lot better. And you do find some size to make up for the fact that you have 1 person on Among Us, and you're finding size on your Rasmus too, so the funnel's even stronger. It's just a super interesting draft from both sides.
Yeah, I still think it should be looking like RIT should be feeling really, really good about that draft. A big question, though, is how well Crimbus can use these quick strikes, because quick strikes is a very, very, very powerful awakening, but you kind of need to know like how to use it and how to really get the most value you can out of it. If you don't know how to, like this is really good here, like getting a lot of dribbling from dribbling, but it wasn't able to clear it out with it. Like knowing how to strike it to your opponent and use your quick strikes to win the next strike war is super important. And I've seen Crimbus do it in solo queue, so I'm like ready for it, but so far it hasn't really gotten that exact value so far. And unless that's found, it's just going to be more and more points for Rutgers Black as Fame Time puts that one in.
Right as overtime hit, core speed catching Beepo a little off guard there. And the explosive impact sending the core ping with just a shotgun.
Yeah, it's kind of explosive entrance is very interesting awakening on a lot of characters because just having more impacts when impacts are like a really core part of a lot of characters' kits. Like it's just like about as good as heavy impact in some cases. So same time using, and there we go. Like that probably, I don't know if that KOs if you don't have that.
Oh, both flips.
Entrance, but
unlucky.
Yeah, miscommunications have been both flips being gone. They really need to find fame time here, but so far,
Depot holding.
Yeah, not quite finding it. But fame time's still really low. If they can find that KO, they'll be in a really good spot.
Able to get unstaggered.
Yeah, a bit more defensively. But yeah, fame time. Kind of having some trouble right now. Can't really find a good position where they can avoid damage and have offensive pressure. But as long as the core speed can go up, they have a chance. Bang.
Yeah, Maul being the strike warrior there, getting a confirm into one barrier and then just getting it around the center, going for the confirm with the pendulum swing, finding the point there.
Yeah, good stuff. From that makes kind of what I was expecting to see more of this round is now that Rasmus has not only BD size, but among Titans size, it's just going to be even easier. It's the scaling you need on this map, because without it, Rasmus was able to make do without it somehow, but shouldn't really be able to do much without it. But that primary size is going to be really, really hard for the large size of Debu to avoid.
Almost finding the barrier there.
Yeah, watching out for that's important.
Yeah, it's going to actually put a premium on Unstoppable in the coming drafts. Fame time finding another cheese kill with the pumps plus explosive. Went for a Tycho angle, able to get around the flip and find a kill there, unable to find the barrier. Primus back up.
Yeah, something less talked about from BD is that plus 5% impact damage, which does matter sometimes. Great hook to get that last barrier. So sometimes you just deal more damage, but great play, great dribble off the secondary. Whiplash, doesn't even need to strike reset because we're on the old patch. And has strike up and hits it in. And sometimes, like when you just have a lot of size, it just feels like you have quick strikes because of you don't need to.
Yeah, your window is bigger.
Yeah, exactly. Your window's bigger, so the core can end up falling farther behind you, and you can still do the dribble. Especially in overtime, where it's even harder to dribble, is where you can find a lot of value from that. But yeah, the size is just being too much. Like the name player really can't deal with these primaries, and then the hooks have been also really, really good.
Yeah.
From
two flips for RIT here.
Yeah, 2 flips to defend, so it's pretty rough in this final point of the set. Now Beepo is going to walk up, might try to do an offensive flip, but instead we're going to see that from Crimbus. Crimbus gets a great setup, but fame time goes invisible. Xeno cloaks back, and is able to get that save. Now name player walks in to try to put more forward pressure, but not going to really find a way to really start the offense from name player. But now it's Sir Red Panda in the corner. Once you get in that corner, you're kind of hoping you can stack your projectiles, but look at that invisible indicator. I can explain that bug later, but it's super interesting how that happened. But great angle from Fame Time to get that last barrier. It was looking really bad, but they were able to survive the 2 flips, and now the energy advantage is high on the side of Rutgers. But now a named player almost is not able to roll in time, but it doesn't quite make it. Now, but name player still has flip, so even if this doesn't go in, they still have a chance to play defense. But a great combination play, Fame Time in the right position, but Sir Red Panda with that piercing shot is going to send that one in. And
yeah, Rutgers with super efficient defense, able to hold for I think 3 flips came out that round. So just able to just lock it down even when they were down barriers, and able to just wait till overtime and abuse the core speed that they have.
Now, we're in an interesting spot. We see the sparks of leadership on board. It's a little bit too late for those with only 1 spark left, but we see Sir Red Panda taking it. There's still this spark of the cooldown spark in the game, and if Panda can get that, then that's a really, really, really strong 3 spark build. That's the type of build that wins you the game on the spot. But things like Fight or Flight being picked up by now is really ridiculous.
With the quick strikes already?
Yeah, quick strikes, Fight or Flight is might be a little bit a strong combo. It might be a combo that instantly wins you the game sometimes, but
not if you're dead.
In the game, yeah, if you're dead. So great KO. Fame Time been finding these a lot too this game. It's very, very comfortable on this Ricard forward pick, and it's you just dash punching people. Honestly.
Close on the hook.
bailed out by a bit of a missed strike, but knows how to strike second and has the size to do so as well. Makes it even easier, but sometimes strike shotgun's all you need. And for car forward, it's looking really good from Fame Time.
Yeah, no, this direct forward has really been proven to be very effective here. Be able to find a bunch of cheese kills that, like, it doesn't matter how much stagger you have off your start. Looking for another drum into shotgun into drum into ult off the edge. Unable to find it there, but like the combo's there, and it's something that you gotta respect.
Yeah, especially if that 1-2 punch pickup is just gonna be even more. It's just the knockback. Especially if the ult comes off in time. If you have ult, it's just done. And honestly, just shotgunning someone twice, I'm pretty sure that procs 1-2. So if you have both of them up, it's really scary. But Fame Time now, once again, kind of got caught, got punished. Like the same thing happened, just not a single evade used, and ends up getting a full staggered and KO'd without using any evades. So something Fame Time's going to need to figure out. But great
patience.
Play. Yeah, Molly Moneth. Just waits out everything, knows that Dubu has a lot of options to prevent your flip from working out, so you don't really want to just strike into Dubu. Has the size too to react, so it's just hard normally, but hits it to the side. Dubu, without strike shot, doesn't have great ways of coming vertically, but here we see the overwhelming pressure of this really large Razmit and the fight or flight quick strikes now.
Flip comes out from Beepo, getting the clear. Unfortunately, right back in the other corner now. Mole tanking the log, letting the core slip by. Right in. Yeah, sometimes you just need to be the one to tank the log for the core and just, Mr. President, get down. Because sometimes you can just body block abilities, and that just lets you get other avenues that wouldn't otherwise be available. Mole pushing into this corner, finding the first.
Yeah, first found, but one of the reasons that Dubu's kind of fallen out of popularity a little bit is that brawlers were getting really, really good at a point at just blocking the log with their body, and then log just became not as good. But that's kind of fake, and Fame Time's going to find another kill and take a flip off the table. It's just, if this Drekar doesn't find these KOs, like, these points just don't happen. But Drekar finding them is just kind of opening that window for Rutgers Black to find ways into the core control game that they really shouldn't have.
Yeah, I mean, like, these quick strikes plus fighter flights really just not providing much value if you keep getting picked off by the Drekar. Oh, a beautiful hook. Greeted for the double barrier and gets stopped by a flop. And double buried in return. That has to be a feel bad moment.
That's really sad. And now Sir Red Panda has it, but doesn't have really anywhere to go here. Yeah, it kind of gets caught in the weird flip, but the blink plus just the blink doesn't even do anything. Maybe it stunned Beepo. I'm actually really curious what happened there. But Beepo forced to go out of the box to contest, but Drekar that's exactly where Drekar wants you to be. Even if just Strike War can win it, but any primary there, the lock and load is just going to stun you and give you no options. Now that rapid fire's picked up, this is a really, really insane Drekar build. All it needs is missile prop, and it's...
We do find third spark on Rasmus, not getting that one into leadership. That's a must deny right there. And it's nice that you're also stacking sparks of your own. That's your third pickup. So you got a little bit of extra power. Maybe now you can start to contest some of these Drekar kills and own to even the playing field in terms of foot brawling.
Yeah, we've seen a Manu denied by named player, and there's a bit of there's some discourse on Manu Dubu. Some people feel like it's a lot worse because sometimes your log will get broken before it hits the core, or sometimes the core will get behind the log when you put it down. But some people just like it. You get a larger log for offensive purposes. Great play by Sir Red Panda.
Yeah, super solid finds.
But yeah, but the Monumentalist, like, it might mess you up sometimes, but at the end of the day, like, making your log bigger when it fully forms on offense means it's covering the whole lane, which is something that's really annoying to deal with. But there we see, there's the quick strikes in action. Like, plays like that are only possible with the quick strikes. Now we see the flip available. Something we haven't seen from Crimbus yet is his primary into flip to KO combo. In fact, we've been seeing a lot of flips used like that, just really defensively, which hasn't gotten a lot of value, but there's the combo that I was talking about earlier.
Gotta respect it.
Yeah, it just hits into the center drum and then KOs right after. It's a ridiculous play, and then rapid fire, so you're just going to have the lock and load step immediately after too. Good evade strike, or idea to evade strike. Didn't really end up mattering, but they cleared it out anyway, which is good nonetheless. Crimbus with the strike war, doing really well.
With the secondary.
And yeah, there we go.
There's size coming in right there. That doesn't score without size pickups.
Yeah, primary is just super weird. What I was talking about earlier is when you have a Mako on your team, if your size changes while you primary, then your indicator just vanishes, which is super hard to defend against, because then they just can't see like where your primary is going to be and where the strong hit's going to be, which is super important. People missing the ult, something that's really scary when you're a Mako, because it's kind of your super bailout, get out of jail free card. So when it doesn't, you can't use it to get it out. Big deal, but great clear.
Flip angle.
Almost gets a barrier, but now Fame Time might be finally the one who gets KO'd after like years of torment against this team of Rutgers Black. But now that KO's on board, there's 2 flips to defend it against in the power play.
Flips inside the cage, cut him negated there. That's 1 down.
Yeah. But, okay, it couldn't get out, but the flip is going to be used. Crimbus has the quick strikes, though, and is able to defend against the flip. Now,
suddenly the flip economy is flipped.
But Crimbus, once again, just kind of burns flip on nothing, which is, again, just kind of like a recurring issue of not being able to find good flips from really either team. But named player rolls the dice, and it's going to be a goal. That's the hot shot Monumentalist and Siege Machine all coming out there to make that ult hit that much harder. And it just flies in.
Incredible sequence there. Just everything almost going slightly wrong until it eventually goes in the favor of Rutgers.
Yeah, it's just weird. Like, everyone's kind of making mistakes. Everyone's looking a little nervous, but whoever comes out on top in the end is what really matters. And Sir Red Panda, though, now taking a lot of damage, gets hooked through into the drum. I'm not sure if I've seen that one before, but that's a really cool combo to bring out.
Reminiscent of the black hole on AtLab.
Yeah, exactly. And once again, the same combo, just striking it up, forcing Dubu to walk. Doesn't have any options. I don't like Strike Shot on Dubu, but Strike Shot on Dubu can like maybe save that. But without it, then you're just kind of screwed, because you're going to get stunned, which is going to take you out of your, even if you have like secondary is going to like you're going to get paused, and it's not going to work out. So you're just kind of checkmated if Rasmus gets the core with space in front of you. So you need kind of Estelle to work to prevent those opportunities from happening, but it's really hard when Crimbus has this quick strike spider flight. And here's the first
another flip in midfield.
Yeah, just not finding anything.
Oh, clutch flip in the deep corner. Of course, is a counter flip from named player there.
Yeah, now Crimbus gets to set up again, gets a lot more energy, and maybe if they can find a KO into one of them, both forwards on the side of Rutgers looking weak, but now Fame Time has flip in front of the net. He gets the
recovery
KO.
drone.
Recovery drone off the table. There's not really that much time left in the game for it to be a big deal, but interesting nonetheless. Great bounce off of the Taiko drum. Is going to get Molly Moneth it again. Insane strike forward from name player. Is going to get the Fame Time and finish the map. Great play from Rutgers Black. And hey, Drakkar forward.
Yeah, I mean, when you take those pummelers, like, you're got a mini dash punch in your pocket, just able to find some kills from knockback. And being able to utilize that speed that you get from the pummelers, just able to convert on these KOs, like, super effectively. Like, we saw 6 KOs come out from Fame Time's Drek there. Great showing there.
Yeah, all of them just had, like, a really good, like, as soon as they got the KO, they would capitalize pretty much every time. So even if it's not, like, some crazy number, like, even if it's only, it looks like it felt much more impactful, but that's because, like, even though they only got 2 more KOs than RIT did in the end, but in, like, reality, those, like, 5 KOs that RIT got ended up in not being goals a lot of the time, and not even, like, double barriers, because named player was able to hold it down with whoever was left up. So On the other hand, though, once Krimbus or Male Maneth is just KO'd, there's just not. It's just a big hole. They don't really have any way to keep up forward pressure. They don't have any big creations like Dubu ult or anything like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just kind of ends up in putting you in a rough spot.
Yeah, we do see interestingly, we see Krimbus with 30 saves. That's like playing midfield along with your goalie there, and we kind of see like that defensive style didn't end up working out for RIT that much, since most of like Krimbus's flips were unable to find a barrier or procure the core to Male, because a lot of them were used somewhat defensively. And like that shows in the saves, but it also shows in kind of the lack of pressure that they were able to exert.
Yeah, I mean, Krimbus had quick strikes and fighter flight, and was playing against like a more double midfield. Well, I guess honestly Rasmus is kind of double midfield in its own right. But Sir Red Panda still getting more redirects despite not having quick strikes or fighter flight is a bit of like just like I think a character gap. I think now on this map it's really, really hard to pilot. You don't have the same reach that characters like Juno and Estelle have. Estelle being able to affect the core from pretty much anywhere on the map from the midfield to keep up forward pressure ends up being more valuable, because like once you're now, the only way for you to help on the forward offense is to move really far up. And once you've moved that far up, the clears are going to be really, really fast because of all the Taiko drums. So once named player just finds a good Taiko drum clear, Krimbus is just going to be out of position, and Drakkar and Estelle are just right there to capitalize immediately.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a bit of an issue.
It's just the ability to like second strike everything there. It just kind of really makes it hard to defend, even if you are like a lockdown goalie like Mako. As long as it's not a creation, you're not getting it through like 4 strikes at once.
Yeah, Mako, it was a weird game. Like set 1, it was crazy that they won like while Beepo was small. And then as soon as Beepo got big, it just like stopped working, I guess. Maybe the small stature was able to assist in avoiding like weird stuns or something like that, but that's mainly chatting. We have team player fighter flight, which is pretty insane.
Yeah, on an open map like Oni.
Yeah,
we're gonna be seeing some fast passing plays here because the map's wide open. You're gonna be looking to try and find the threads through your opponent's forwards formation, and like you're hoping that your core speed can kind of carry you.
Yeah, you see the Atlas get banned. Beepo's just going to lock into Mako again, which has been proven to be good on this map. Like, it's honestly, I'm not a big fan of Atlas in general. It's very easy to pilot, which is why I think it ends up being favored by a lot of collegiate goalies, because you can pilot it against players that are like better than you. Maybe you could argue at a like pretty good rate. But once again, the double midfield comp versus coming out, we see Kai and Estelle on one side, which has always been sort of something that people have been down for on this map, but instead we're going to see it now with the fighter play, which is still good on Rasmus. So I think this is a really interesting matchup. I don't really expect the Kai to be able to find very much against Mako. I don't really consider that a good matchup for Kai. But immediately, named player loses both barriers, and Kai's able to find a single barrier. And if this fighter flight, if there's a way for Kai to find things, it's going to be with fighter flight. And both forwards are going to be racing for quick strikes really, really hard this game. Something to look out for. And as soon as it hits overtime, both goalies are going to have that team player that like immediately red cores. So
yeah, that's going to be scary, especially on a map like open.
So whoever can capitalize on those things the most is probably going to be the team that comes out on top. But like there we go, like Fame Time, like you just don't really have an easy way in to get this barrier. They're kind of just taking turns. They're not really using their abilities together like you kind of have to, I feel like, with this comp. And Krimbus is just going to walk up with flip. And there we see one of the first good flips of this game. Honestly, just used really aggressively on that goal line. Just leave nothing up to chance.
Yeah, it's super interesting seeing like we're gonna see like these brawlers just fighting over this fight or flight and who can touch the core better and more, while the goalies are just trying to find like these Hail Mary angles with their team player, just looking to find any clear possible. because like everyone here is just so fast with the speed lanes, and every time they touch, they got slick procs and they got their fight or flight procs. So it's just the match is going to be super dynamic with everyone just moving everywhere, and the goalie's just trying to keep up with the changing landscape.
Yeah, there we go. This is the big what you're kind of open for, because I really don't. Maybe Kai is better on the open net, but for these barriers, you're really going to be counting on the Stell to get those stuns onto Beepo. Or in same likewise, either way. But the thing is that Rasmus can do the same thing as we just saw there.
Oh,
great play! We saw that same exact patience come out of Molly Monarch last map, but we see it again there. Burns off 2 flips and still scores. That's really, really, really rough if you're Rutgers right now, but if they can get this barrier, they might be able to keep it something up, but now they've used pretty much all their cooldowns and aren't able to get both barriers for it. And it's just the Kai just not being able to stun Mako, which is really what you need. You really need stuns on Mako like to get through, but only having the Giga that has to hit the core at the same time is just usually a little bit too much, and just the amount of more scoring pressure that Rasmus can have, even if Rasmus does have a little bit less than maybe some other more traditional brawlers. There we go.
Ooh,
this is able to
confirming
break through
with the secondary.
Yeah, great play there. And now Krimbus is just going to hit to the corner, go for the collapse. Strike Force is not one, but yeah, look at this.
Almost finds a hook.
Yeah, that's a great hook, but isn't able to convert it into anything. Now looking for another chance, just kind of staying up, which is something that Fame Time kind of doesn't do as much. Especially Fame Time kind of moving back and become midfield, but look at that angle, fudgy angle if you will, off the wall, goes in at right the edge of the goal zone, and yeah, Rasmus is just looking a lot better here.
Yeah, team players starting to read the core in overtime there, came in kind of clutch there. We see that both Mako is able to just hit the core very, very fast as soon as overtime starts, and then it's just a matter of who can keep possession long enough to find the opening.
Yeah, I'm pretty it's a pretty stale draft, but the prime time is a good take.
Win on Mako.
Yeah, Twin Drive's going to end up on Mako, which will be more secondaries, which is really good. It helps your Kai out, who has the speed. But again, that size from Mako, it just ends up being stronger on your Rasmus in the more often than any other character in this match. So it doesn't really matter as much for the sec getting that Twin Drive if you're named player. It's still obviously good. But
ooh, strike shot save. Able to save one barrier and save just long enough for Molly to get a dribble into a corner and find a goal.
Yeah, I mean, Rasmus is just I'm just gonna keep repeating it. It just seems to be better Kai right now, especially with one size awakening now. It's just gonna keep being the same story, and I don't know if there's really something that Rutgers can even adjust. I don't know what adjustment can really be made. I think Fame Time should probably be moved to more midfield, and so you can hope your Estelle can score with primaries more, because that's kind of your best way in. But that's not really how they played last game. I don't think it's how they plan to play this one either. So you're just kind of forced to play this awkward game.
Collat.
And yeah, Collat. That's a good way of putting that play. Krimbus is able to find
stun 2 and get the core at the same time.
Yeah, good little piercing shot there, but Fame Time is still not, even with all of that, they're not able to get this barrier, and it just barely misses. But there we go. There's the strike war from Fame Time to get in, and this is what you need from your Kais. You need this insane speed that to be able to keep up. But great flip, saves on the edge of the goal zone from name player, and now it should be a goal, and it is. All the cooldowns, because the flip was able to clear it out. Sir Red Panda didn't need to use any of those cooldowns on defense, which finally gave that opportunity for Krimbus to just set up that scoring opportunity. Or not Krimbus, for Sir Red Panda to set up that scoring opportunity. And we'll see if there's another chance for this team to get these barriers.
I mean, as we say on Oni, one barrier is always free. It's a matter of being able to find the second one and making sure you're not getting doubled here. Or finding that even after one barrier goes down, Beepo's been able to hold one better than named player's been able to hold the second. And that's just kind of leading to the pressure differential here. Kai able to find a barrage confirm into a flip. That's 2 points this set.
A bit of a grief back pass from Crimbus. Usually back passing is pretty good on this map, but really you just don't need your Mako to touch it like ever, because their only way of ever scoring should be in the Stell Beam or something, like hitting Beepo while it's in close range. So we'll have to see if they like kind of learn from that last play and learn to just play a bit more chill. But just again, Mollymon's just chewing through these barriers. The stun comes off to just guarantee Crimbus getting the Crystal Thorns to score. And it's 2-2 right now, but I do think the consistency is coming out a lot harder from RIT Orange rather than Rutgers Black, who kind of have to work a lot harder for these barriers.
Yeah, and we're seeing just like, it seems like a named player is just kind of using cooldowns to save one barrier when like you can really just let one go for free and then just save your effort for the second one.
Yeah, it would have been interesting to see the Dubu repeat, but we don't see that. Instead, we see Molly just break through once again. And this is like one of my problems with Mako too, is that against teams that like aren't double midfield, or against especially a Stell plus like a real brawler, you have a lot of trouble.
There's that quick strikes.
Yeah, dealing with a lot of things. But now quick strikes Fight or Flight gonna land onto Crimbus. Has it again. Had it last game too. Wasn't able to put it to good work, or good use rather. But this game, we're seeing a different story. Beepo going to deny the spark of leadership, which is going to kind of take away any great options for Sir Red Panda, especially if you're not used to Among Titans. It can get pretty scary to take that in these high pressure situations where you have to get used to it being a smaller size. Like sometimes, like maybe there, for example, maybe the strike would have hit. Like I can't say for sure, but it's just really,
we were mentioning it. We mentioned it last game, but like, you know, sometimes having a lot of size can make you feel like you have quick strikes. Sometimes the opposite is true as well. You can just feel like you're unable to win these strike wars just because you don't have your window. It's a lot more punishing if you strike early or late.
Yeah, true. So, like the speed, at best, wow.
Passive team player coming in there.
Yeah, like you said, the Mako passive plus team player will just red core it and keeping that speed to hit it in. Really good. But like I was saying, like you have the speed to hopefully kind of help out your strike wars and your dribbles and all of that when you take Among Titans. But like having Fame Time be that big doesn't affect any of Fame Time's abilities. Like Rasmus secondary and primary both get affected with size, but
your bullets aren't bigger with barrage.
Yeah, it just doesn't quite help you as much, but we'll see if they can find something. But it's just so far Erasmus keeping up the pressure. Flip forced out by Crimbus. Good reaction though to the piercing shot at the very least. But there it is. Primary just puts it in. Honestly, I was worried name player would get KO'd there as well, but it doesn't end up happening.
Yeah, this game is just looking a lot more dominant in favor of RIT here, using their open map as opposed to a closed map, able to just kind of keep control a lot better. And like Crimbus is able to find these dribbles a lot more effectively, and they aren't worrying about weird Tycho shenanigans. And these confirms are just coming out from Male, and they're able to just consistently find these. Like,
and it's over. It's just like that. Molly just scoring over and over and over and over and over again. Just really dominant performance. Level 8 when everyone on the other team's like level 5. The same thing coming out from Crimbus too. Just both forwards being level 8 while both forwards are being level 5 on Rutgers Black. Just kind of tells the story of the match. Just been really dominant on the offense. I can't even really blame a named player that much for not being able to hold the barriers, because the core is just always on their side, and as soon as it is, just having to deal with Stell Beam and Rasmus primary like alone is really something you can't like do as Mako. especially because like Mako doesn't have the tools to like leave the barrier, because you don't want to be on the barrier as Mako, but you kind of have to be, or you don't want to have to be on the barrier versus Estelle Rasmus, but you just kind of have to. And Crimbus for 120 redirects.
All right.
Just what a game.
Yeah, we see a story of drafting, and then we see a story of just control. Because, like, Crimbus able to pick up the fight or flight there just allows him to keep this control, and you see it in the redirects here. And then we also just saw, like, in terms of character draft, the Rasmus is just more effective at confirming these barriers than the Kai was.
Yeah, just a weird kind of spot to be in. The Juno gets banned. And yeah, we just end up being in a rough spot. Looking for a confirmation here. We might be doing a caster swap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I have to hop out. I'm casting a different game scheduled soon. But these first 2 games have been very interesting to watch. I can't wait to find out the result. But for now, I'm stepping out. I'm going to let Mr. Surplus take my spot. But pleasure casting so far.
Fade, there we go. Thank you so much, Orion. You're the GOAT. You are the GOAT indeed. And
I can still see Orion.
You can still see Orion just behind me, you know, just all behind me there. But yeah, it'll be fine. Actually, hold on. I'm gonna do that really quick. Yeah, I got it. Woo! Yeah, okay. All right, what's up, everybody? How's it going? How's it hanging? We're going into this third map right now. RIT, Rutgers Black, tied 1-1. If you want more Orion clips, they're going to be over on the main channel on Odyssey Interactive, casting Longhorn Gaming versus UCLA. That's going to be a fun match. Whoever loses, we might have a new top 6 here, Fudgy.
Yeah, it's a little rough right now. I mean, I know we're in this match right now, but I do want to talk a little bit about that one. UCLA in a rough spot right now. Water Fury out of town for a wedding.
Yep.
Has to deal with some weird ping issues, and also is at the wedding like right now. So he had to play the first few matches in a rough spot, and then immediately after ended up being subbed out for Balix, because he had to. But Balix has always been like a pretty solid player. Hasn't really played the game as much. Water Fury been grinding quite like just much more, especially lately since the new season started. I've just been seeing him queuing solo queue nonstop. So we'll have to see what happens on that end. I do think they should be able to beat Longhorn. Longhorn had some really good games earlier. The one I casted too. They were looking really strong. But I don't know if they're going to be able to look the same when playing against like the forward duo of Grimella and Threezy.
I think they have a shot. I think they have a shot at least because, I mean, you've got Water Fury on the other side of the country. You've got the 2 UCLA guys in California. Longhorn Gaming is in Texas. Play on Dallas servers. That's just the chance that they have right now. We'll see. We'll see what chances they have now.
Well, they're not going to let them do that.
They're probably not going to let them do that. I don't know. That's the only way to do it, though. Primetime Aerials are your starting awakenings here for this one. We're going to see a Juno ban again. Yeah, same bands. It makes sense why they're going to want to get these same bands in and out.
But Drakkar forward is probably going to look a lot better on this map than on Oni Village. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a return to that. We see Crimbus hovering the IME midfield, which is a pretty exciting pick. You don't see that many people bring it out at like a high level. There's some like IME one tricks that'll pick it, but usually they're just playing IME Brawler reskin.
Yes.
So we'll see how Crimbus is able to manage to do it in the midfield. Yeah, exactly.
See exactly what flavor this IME is.
Because you have the Rasmus too, so the Rasmus can kind of assist in midfield if you want to play IME more scory like, but we'll have to see. We do see the return of the Kai with the aerials. The double aerials, both really good for Estelle and Kai. And Estelle this patch especially, was just proven to be really strong. So seeing Estelle on one side but not the other is something that's like pretty scary. That's kind of what happened the first game too, to be honest. I mean, there's a lot of reasons that first game went the way it did, but seeing the Estelle on one side and not the other, it's pretty scary. We see Primetime coming out of both goalies. But name player on this debut is something I like to see because he just looked a lot more comfortable on it in that first game than on the Mako in the second.
Yes, name player is just so good with the debut there, but Maul staying on this Rasmus is really the key component here for RIT as that next gold barrier goes down. Chicken salad deluxe right down to the bottom barrier there. No issue there for Maul Moneth. 1-0 RIT, and I mean, either way, these seeds, number 8, number 10, we've already seen some of the other seeds that are higher than them. UTD Meteorites, for example, they're already out of the tournament, you know? So you're seeing a bit of a Cinderella run potentially from both of these teams to play against NJIT for a spot in tomorrow's competition. 1 goal barrier down. Maul is in that front lane with Crimbus playing a pseudo top lane goalie here because Red Panda and Fame Time are just being so crazy with this pressure at the moment.
Yeah, they're able to use their comp much better on this map. I do think the Kai will have a bit more. We'll still have the same issue of having to deal with Mako, but at least now you have a little bit more space in the corners to try to shove it into. Where on Oni, everything's so flat that like the Mako can kind of just hold everything. But we'll have to see if that even works out, because again, it's just been the same issue so far, with it being so hard to get this Kai to find a way to break through. But now Name Player and Red Panda both having these flips, and Name Player just, he's been strike warring like a beast this entire game. He even has been using his log, like especially at just really opportune timings to just give better shots. But the core is just going to slide through both Crimbus and Beepo, and even though Fame Time staggered, it's looking really scary. The flip has to be used defensively. Name Player is going to be able to kick it out, and then also just has flip on defense. Lolly Moneth uses the, oh my god, uses the flip, and then Name Player hits an insane log. The Giga from across the map almost gets it in, but Barrage will finish it. And what a round.
All those core flips, and the thing that gets it in is a barrage. Come on, man.
I mean, that's kind of been a story of these last 2 games too. It's just flips not ending up doing too much, often used very defensively. And that's just kind of a problem that you see even at like the highest level in the national games. It's just teams that can't find ways to deal or use those core flips to get like an actual like physical advantage from a barrier or a goal or a KO or any of that. But good mix-up, Molly Moneth. Like, I don't know if you should have given this guy his Rasmus again. He's been kind of cooking you on it, even in the game you won. But we'll have to see if this Name Player will be able to hold it down with the debut. So far, doing a really good job on the open net.
Maul sending it down to the bottom here, trying to sauce and flex on Named Player, but Named Player right there, ready to go. Fame Time just keeps getting on that stagger. I just haven't seen a KO happen just yet. It might be happening every so often. This RIT team isn't very brawler heavy, so it's a little interesting to see how they'll be able to get out of this one with Fame Time just this low. Core flip comes out from Named Player. Beepo with the deflect into the IME turret. 1, 2, 3. Every single member gets involved on the Tigers.
Yeah, all that because Name Player lost that barrier earlier. As soon as that barrier is lost, then it's a whole new game for both sides, because both goalies should be really good at holding these barriers, but once it's the open net, it's going to be much harder. Even if that KO, honestly, it's worth for that double barrier. Because Name Player is just going to be hold this down. We saw this happen on Taiko Temple a lot. As long as they don't lose this one, then it'll be a really valuable point for them. But with flip used and no cooldowns from Name Player to block off the flip, it's going to be a trade. And with the trade, though, we'll have to see who can defend better on this open net, but the aerials from Crimbus is going to be what knocks that one in, and no flip needed going to the first draft with a win.
Now, if you're a Rutgers fan, you might be sweating a bit right now, but let me tell you, this team likes going to 3 maps. We've seen them in 3 maps, I believe the last 2 games of this tournament, most notably their past game, the most recent game against Esports at Oregon State. They like going to this 3rd map and either wearing the other team down or just being offensive on that 1st and 3rd map. So we'll see how this plays out here, especially with RIT winning this one. 6 goals away from top 8 here, and a shot at top 6. The skates on the Dubu, the 1-2 punch for Sir Red Panda, but the Chrono Boost for Beepo, quick strikes as well for Crimbus. This is very interesting here, Fudgy.
Yeah.
Would you have picked this if you were playing in this game?
Yeah, draft seemed pretty standard. I really like that. Oh, wow. Get owned.
Fast.
I really like Molly Moneth getting that hot shot. I think it's going to be pretty important. Sometimes because name player is really, really comfortable on this dude, is really good at walking up and challenging the Rasmus, which is what you need to do to win that matchup. But if you get that primary off, even from a distance, now with that increased core speed off of hot shot, you're going to be able to get through Dubu, which makes that matchup better for you. And even when you're playing defensively, just being able to hit the core harder to clear it out is a pretty big deal. And also just your whole team has more cooldowns pretty much right now because you got hot shot rapid fire, which is just always really, really good. It's kind of something that it feels like hard to notice. Like you don't just know a certain team has more cooldowns than the other, but they'll definitely see it. They'll definitely be are getting advantages from that in the game. Great flip though, block off that barrier being taken.
Oh, and then the barrier just instantly gets KO'd down there, and a good timing, especially for RIT with that black hole coming in hot. Aimi glitch pop to Maul. Maul backs down here, named player with a good saving roll as well. Beepo defending this barrier with his life, but it just doesn't matter. And Sir Red Panda taps it in. 2-0 for Rutgers Black, trying to equalize here. Additionally, Longhorn Gaming up 1-0 against UCLA, winning game 1 3-0. An upset alert over on the main stream, twitch.tv/Odyssey Interactive. Put both these streams up on both your tabs. 1-2, and see you later. 3-0 set here for Rutgers Black. A fast one as well. We'll see the Scarlet Knights take their shot first in the Awakenings draft.
Yeah, they just took it back. Sir Red Panda had some pretty crazy points. The 1-2 punch helping a lot in these like ping pong situations, because as soon as they hit it back to you, you hit it back harder, forcing them to move back a little bit more. And just doing that over and over again until you get both barriers is a really, really good strategy, especially against players who aren't used to playing against it. Now they're getting Stagger Swagger and Fight or Flight for winning this set, which is really, really good. They're going to be able to keep their pace up even more now, cover more, and apply even more pressure. Beepo getting the heavy impact is obviously really good. Going to have even more cooldowns. But honestly, the rest, like getting Siege Machine and Spark of Focus, kind of is something that left something to be desired. You kind of want a little bit more out of your draft than that, but everyone kind of gets Biss on this side of Rutgers.
I believe that I got baited by Achi, so it's okay. It's fine.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, that's crazy.
I
was typing in the stream. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm like, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure?
Like, one, that's really fast.
Yeah, super fast. But hey,
but I mean, speaking of fast, like, yo, Fame Time's taking over this game right now. Fame Time and Sir Red Panda are just taking these barriers instantly every round, and it's just kind of becoming a little ridiculous. I don't know that they can keep up with this pace right now. Just the amount of range they have. Sir Red Panda just has, like, starting with aerials is a little bit disgusting already, but once you have speed,
it is true. It is true. I'm so sorry to let you guys know. Achi was not lying. They played game 1 off stream, mainly because Water Fury needs to get continuing with these matches. But yes, it is true. Longhorn Gaming 1-0 UCLA, and that game 2 will be on Twitch very, very soon. So sorry to cut you off, Budgie. Keep it going.
I see. I need to figure out what happened there. That's crazy. I guess it was Water Fury's wedding early? Like, finish already? That was great. That was a fast...
it's a fast wedding.
Wedding, I guess. Speed ran that one. Maybe a bit of a shotgun wedding. Who knows?
Who knows?
But yeah, back in this game though, it's just like, how are they going to score on named player? Like, he's just got a lot going for him. He's got the glass cannon for the skates. He's got prime time for just infinite logs, and they don't have a way to really get through logs, so
what an
ends up being really, really hard. Yeah, but finds the angle. Named player kind of gets caught, not expecting it. Kind of fell asleep, honestly, and it gets struck through. An uncharacteristic mistake from named player, gonna result in kind of one of the first points in a while, and in 4 points, I think, for RIT.
RIT has signs of life here, especially after that 3-0 set. 1 goal barrier going down. as Crimbus and Beepo both have their energy flips. And as I say that, Beepo does die. There goes Maul. Maul is down on the Rasmus. A power play opportunity here for Rutgers. One barrier down again. And for a school that I believe both these teams have NCAA hockey teams, the penalty box is not kind to either side so far. A little bit interesting how little KOs have done, but how much the KOs are affecting this game so far.
Yeah, just although this game is a lot like hockey, but named player is not playing like a traditional goalkeeper, is able to move up a lot and having a lot of forward pressure. But once those KOs happen, especially losing that flip as well, it just doesn't really matter how much forward pressure you have, because it's just all suddenly gone. But Fame Time once again finds the way around Beepo and is taking, like, still just in control. It's gonna be really hard. They can't really KO him anymore because of this fight or flight unstoppable. Like, Fame Time's just way too fast. The Kai's just way too fast. And this is even before next patch where Kai gets even faster. So
yes,
crazy stuff.
Pretty crazy stuff. One goal barrier, make that two here. 1-2 for Maul on the side of RIT. Beepo charges up the bat, but Fame Time, again, as you were saying before, taking over so far, getting all speedy with it, especially with these awakenings. And Beepo just cannot hold on to that cord, slips right by him. And Rutgers 3 goals away from making it into the top 8.
Yeah, it's looking really good too, especially with this next draft. There's not really much for the opponents to really take to scale up. There's like 2 sparks on board that I'm sure the Rasmus is eyeing, but neither of them are that important. We just see this explosive entrance being taken away. It's just, or not just taken in general, to give even more speed to Kai. Kai kind of just becomes Octavia at a certain point. Once you get like enough speed awakenings, you're just faster Octavia that has a shorter cooldown on your secondary, and that can end up being really, really nice. Like Spark of Agility having to be taken by Beepo just adds nothing for you. It just feels really, really bad, and because there's already 3 sparks off the table, so not really much to be gained from there. You're hoping that the size gain on your Rasmus is going to be enough to take you into this next one, but once again, the draft just kind of going in the favor of Rutgers.
Indeed, RIT has to dig deep and play off of a lot of these plays out here from Rutgers Black, especially what they're doing right now. Rutgers Black likes to get to map 3, get in the head of their opponent, and wear them out. And that is exactly what is playing out in front of us right now, everybody. This is exactly the exact definition of what Rutgers is playing like at the moment. 1 goal barrier down again, and Fame Time again going absolutely nuclear. 1 goal barrier down for Maul. Maul doing a great job on the side of RIT, just can't connect with the goals at the moment because named player is just doing so good defensively. Crimbus has the flip. Beepo will strike shot this for a little forward. Goal barrier goes down. Good flip there from Beepo, but Fame Time is right there to intercept. Maul has a shot. The core is going back towards RIT. Crimbus does a glitch pop, brings it back, and it almost gets through, but named player walks right up to it, gets it out of the way. Maul hooks it over. Red Panda, though, what a teleport there. Beepo doing a great job on defense, charging up the bat. Flip comes out, but it's completely stuffed here by Maul and Crimbus. Maul shoots it down the far line side, and Fame Time, barrage, match point, Rutgers Black.
Just, yeah, it's looking real good. Just having this Kai just take control. It's able to be that sort of scorer Kai that they wanted from the last game. That wasn't really able to come to fruition, but whoa!
Oh my goodness.
Just the blink. I don't even know if 1-2 punch was active, but nice edge probably was. Gets that, immediately flips for the second barrier as well. It's now a power play. Maul, though, is going to get double barrier from cross map and has flipped to finish it off if setup can happen. But it's not going to happen. Instead, it's going to be cleared out. Fame Time has possession once again. It's a really scary spot, but Nameplayer is going to have to flip. Now Maul looking for an opportunity to flip in order to break through. But if any log is up, it's just really hard. And this time, it's not going to work. Fame Time has adapted. Has seen that play from Maul 3 times this like entire map. And this time, they're not going to fall for it. They're going to break through. And now everyone's reset. Only Beepo has a flip at this point. But all it's going to do is set up Maul, who's going to get that strike in. And it's going to be another point. They're not out of this just yet.
Do you believe in miracles, chat? Do you believe in the comeback? We'll see if they can make it happen. 1 goal barrier down for RIT, not a great start. But a response, 1 goal barrier down by Crimbus. Small is trying to get around Red Panda and Fame Time. Goal barrier down, kill condition is here for Rutgers, but Fame Time is low. Could get KO'd at any moment here. Core flip comes out from Crimbus. Name player is there to intercept. Red Panda down, out, and Rutgers Black moves on, ending the season of RIT, and are 18 goals away from punching their ticket to Championship Sunday.
Yeah, what a game. I mean, this team really showing it's not always about picking to what the meta tells you to pick. It's sometimes just like what your comfort and what your practice is just going to be better. And kind of piloting this double midfield really, really well. We see for once Fame Time having more redirects than Sir Red Panda. And just kind of taking control. Like I said, I keep saying taking control, but has 8 goals and the most redirects. Just kind of taking that spot of what Maul was able to do in that past game. But with the Kai this time. Crimbus had a pretty good midfield performance. I was impressed by the IME play, but it just wasn't able to have them at the same scoring that Estelle was able to have while having the same defensive capabilities. And just even like and even though it had more damage, they just weren't able to convert on any of the KOs. Both teams only getting 2, despite there being a pretty like fair damage differential between the teams. So very well played from Rutgers. Very impressed by the piloting of this Kai forward and how they were able to make it work.
Absolutely. And I also do want to say here as well that RIT, you cannot be sad about how this happened, how this season unfolded. This is your best result so far in the Collegiate Core Strike League. You are top 12? Top 12, at least. Top 10 to top 12. This is a great result for the team out there at RIT, just narrowly missing day number 2. But Rutgers Black has a even bigger challenge ahead of them against NJIT, the number 5 ranked team in this tournament. Fludgy, before you say goodbye, who do you think's going to take this one?
It's honestly, I have to say that NJIT are definitely the favorites coming in. I'm a believer. I'm a believer in the possibility, the chance. Let me be clear of Rutgers making it through, but NJIT is definitely who I would put my money on if I had to. They're just too solid of a team, too solid of a roster. Just too many. Or did I say? Yeah, no, NJIT. Yeah.
NJIT. Okay.
Just having Storm and Mirror Meg.
Storm and Mirror Meg is crazy. A crazy roster. It's going to be interesting. But thank you, Beepo, for the raid. But man, I mean, if you're an RIT fan, pat yourselves on the back. If you play on RIT, pat yourselves on the back. That was a hard-fought match. You should not be disappointed whatsoever on the outcome of this season thus far. Well, we will be right back here on Striker Central with the final match of the day. One of these two teams, Rutgers Black or NJIT, 2 New Jersey powerhouses, are going to need to fight one another for a spot on Sunday's finals. Fudgy, anything final to say here?
Hey, good luck to all the teams. You're all playing really well. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow. We'll see.
The Battle of Jersey coming up next right here on Striker Central.